Ever since Wellesley College announced its plans to possibly sell the North 40, a major piece of land in town, it's been a hot topic. Who would buy it? What would the space be used for? And how would that impact the community? So this week on Inside Wellesley, we sit down with three people extremely involved in the process to get their perspectives on the North 40 and its potential sale. Maria Davis moved to Wellesley in 2010 because it was the perfect fit for her family.
We chose this community because we fell in love with the neighborhood. We love the open space around the neighborhood.
Davis lives about 1 block from what's known in town as the North 40, a large undeveloped piece of land owned by Wellesley College and used frequently by community members.
I'm very grateful to Wellesley College for permitting people's use of the property.
The North 40 totals about 46 acres of land and is bounded by Route 135, Weston Road, and Turner Road.
This land was given to Wellesley College in around 1870-something, with the understanding that it would only be used for educational purposes. And over the years, over 100 years, they've not been successful in finding a way to use it for that purpose.
So it's mainly remained open space with beautiful walking trails that local residents enjoy throughout the year, plus a community garden.
But there is about a 50-year waiting list to get a plot on that community garden. So it's a very popular garden, and if you haven't seen it, it's quite large, and I'm not sure if we can replicate that anywhere else in town.
But that could all change. In an effort to raise money for updates to its main campus, Wellesley College filed a petition with Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court seeking to remove deed restrictions that originally stopped the school from selling the land. The courts approved their request, which means Wellesley College can now sell, lease, or develop the parcel as it sees fit, with far less restrictions to adhere to. It was a quick ruling many weren't expecting as fast.
We've not had a strong expectation that it would become available for sale. We've always talked, I guess, euphemistically about this parcel of land. But we've never had any firm expectations that it would become available for sale in the near term.
But now that Wellesley College has expressed its interest in selling the North 40 and has obtained approval to do so, some residents are worried about what's next.
I was very sad to think that there would be a development. That's my initial thought, was there will be a development, more houses, creating more of an urban feel, higher density, and then I started thinking of all the other issues that we have in town in terms of schools and the lack of space for kindergartners and first graders at Hardy, and how that would impact the overall community as a whole, and of course traffic, because I think that's a huge concern for most of the residents around here.
Some of the same issues town officials are concerned about.
A significant number of new homes translates into a significant number of additional students to be educated. That has cost, and in terms of teachers and other support staff, and it also implies cost in terms of the need for additional classroom space. So where do we put those? If you had 60 plus new homes, that's a lot of kids. What classrooms are those kids going to go into is a fundamental question that needs to be answered.
Since the potential sale and development of this land by an unknown party would have significant implications on the town in regards to traffic, infrastructure, and municipal services, Wellesley's Board of Selectmen have started to analyze the possible uses of the land and consider whether the town might be interested in acquiring the property to address community needs.
We need to look very seriously at this opportunity and sort out whether this is something the town should pursue. Obviously, it'll be a significant financial cost, but we are very mindful that opportunities like this come along very infrequently, and this is one of the last remaining chances we have to acquire a significant piece of land for the town's use long term.
To do that, Wellesley has formed a steering committee comprised of representatives from a number of town boards and organizations, as well as community representatives from the neighborhood, who will be evaluating potential municipal uses for the land, while the selectmen look into what an actual acquisition would entail and how much it would cost. Not only was Davis named to the committee, but she's created a blog to keep other residents updated on the process.
I created the North 40 Wellesley blog because I was having trouble finding information about the process, what was going on, and trying to get also to inform folks of what was happening. So I was spending hours searching, Googling, looking for articles, looking at the Wellesley College website to see if there's any more information about the Wellesley College's intentions to the land. I was looking at the town to see if the town had stated they were interested in purchasing and they were starting a committee. So I was really looking for that information. And I said, well, if it takes me hours of my time to get this information for myself, this must be the same thing that everyone else is having to do. So why don't I put it all in one place so that folks can go in there and just get the information.
At the same time, the Wellesley Trails Committee is setting up walks of the North 40 so residents can get a better understanding of the actual piece of land up for discussion.
So we are going to head in this direction now towards the community garden. Okay.
While Lessing, Larson, and Davis have different perspectives on the situation, they all know how important the land can be, but at the same time realize it's ultimately up to Wellesley College to decide the North 40's fate.
In my personal ideal world, I would hope that we could get a land trust or the Conservation Commission or some folks or the town all involved in preserving as much open space as possible. I think Wellesley's really in a shortage of open space.
What's important to keep in mind is that once you lose open space, it's never open space again. You know, once it's built up with whatever it might be, it will never, certainly not in our lifetimes, become open space again. That's why it's so important for us to be alert and remain part of the conversation.
I'm hopeful that the community can see its way clear to acquire the property. I'm hopeful if in fact the community is supportive of doing that we are able to negotiate a deal with the college that makes sense for them, as well as making sense for the town and our residents at large.
For Wellesley Media, I'm Natalie Kaplan.